I opened the clay where the old river bends, and the dust held names that the centuries buried. Babylon breathing in brick and bitumen, wild moon over Mesopotamia. Watch what the kings carry, cuneiform cuts in the mud like code from a civilization, counting the stars before telescopes. Anunnaki in the argument, some call them gods, some call them strangers, some call them metaphors. 90 names in a tablet and 1,000 interpretations, each scholar guarding a different door. Sumerian syllables surviving while empires vanished, and every translation changes what came before. Enki in the water, Enlil in the storm, Ishtar with a lion and a planet burning bright. Some say visitors descended from heaven, some say that heaven was language, some say it was ritual light. I read the line again, and the line reads different when the modern mind is standing near the ancient. That is the trick of the archive. Every answer leaves another question chained to the statement. The pyramid rises in Egypt with geometry cut so clean that the desert looks measured by intention. People build machines into the theory and magnets into the summit and engines into the dimension. They say a capstone was a beacon. They say a chamber was a power source. They say a ship could rise. The priest says sacred symbol. The skeptic says engineering, and the storyteller says look into the skies. I do not need to choose when the contradiction makes the rhythm and the rhythm makes the mystery. I take the fragments, place them beside each other, then watch them form a different kind of history. Thoughts on the wall with a reed and a tablet. Hermes in another century carrying knowledge through the night. Greek names crossing Egyptian names while Roman hands copy fragments by candlelight. Dead language, living language, broken language. Every tongue is a key with half its teeth removed. Writing, hiding recipes and margins. Greek, hiding riddles and grammar. Egyptian signs refusing to be reduced. The book of the dead was never a single book, but a river of spells and names and maps for the dead. A guide through gates and judgment where the heart is weighed and every hidden deed is read. Anubis watches scales while Osiris waits beyond the threshold, and Mat's feather measures the soul. A myth becomes a mirror when the living read it backward, trying to make the ancient whole. They ask how to stop a plague, how to call protection, how to preserve a body beyond the grave. They ask for immortality and symbols, because every mortal wants a loophole, every king wants to be saved. Then Babylon answers with another tablet, and Egypt answers with another wall. The languages disagree, but the hunger underneath them sounds identical in every hall. Power over death, power over distance, power over nature, power over time. The oldest human question wearing a different alphabet every time. I found a broken phrase that looked like nonsense, but the cadence carried something underneath. A fictional translation says mix moon salt with cedar ash and hold the flame where no shadow sleeps. Not innocent, not history, not fact, just a forged little recipe hidden inside the song. A joke from the archive, yet the more I read it, the more the old obsession feels strong. Everlasting light in a sealed vessel, a grain that remembers 100 years, a stone that stores dawn, ridiculous on paper. But legends are built from impossible things that someone refuses to abandon. The tablet says nothing about rockets, yet somebody sees a launch pad in the shape of the stair. The carving says nothing about aliens, yet somebody sees a visitor in every figure there. A winged disc becomes a spacecraft to one mind and a solar emblem to another. The same old sign becomes 1,000 new stories depending on who is looking at the color. And I keep moving through the museum with a beat like footsteps in a buried corridor. Each artifact becomes a syllable, each century becomes a measure, each theory becomes one more. I hear the priests in the phonetics, I hear the merchants in the numbers, I hear the soldiers in the stone, I hear the dead languages whispering that no civilization ever leaves its meaning alone. The archive does not speak in one voice, it fractures and recombines. Every translation draws a border, every border creates another line. Anunnaki are gods to one reader, visitors to another, symbols to a third. I write all three into the verse and let the contradiction do the work. Now accelerate from to Giza, from Giza to Thebes, from Thebes to a Tira beneath the river sand. A priest with a reed pen, a king with a seal, a mason with geometry burned into his hand. Calendar calculation, eclipse prediction, star procession, temporal orientation in sacred proportion. Knowledge looks supernatural when you forget the mathematics that built the observation. But mystery does not vanish because an equation exists, it simply changes its clothing. A calculation can become ritual when the numbers are carried through generations without explanation. Formation.